What is up, you guys? How is everybody doing out there? I hope you're having a super fantastic day. I'm Ashley with AHM Artistry, and I just got my order that I placed for the new Urban Decay Stay Naked collection. Ooh, I am so excited to try these, guys. Try these all out. I ordered the new Stay Naked foundation, the new Stay Naked concealer. I even ordered the new Vice Lip Chemistry Lip Glassy Tint thingamajig. It's supposed to be pH balanced and adjust to like what your natural skin undertones and stuff would be. So I'm really curious to try this. I guess there's two different ways you can use it. And then I also ordered the new sponge that Urban Decay came out with because it has like a silicone tip on it and it looked really interesting. It looked like two type of makeup applicators in one. So I'm really curious to try that out. So we're gonna be trying all of this on today. I'm gonna be doing an 8-hour wear test too to see how it applies. Now keep in mind, my skin is more on the dry side. However, it's 100 degrees outside today and very humid. So I don't really know how this foundation is gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna find out, we're gonna see. Before we begin, I would love it if you would consider going down and hitting that little red subscribe button. That way you get notified when I post new videos, because I post 3 times a week, all beauty related, all cruelty free as well. So it's a little bonus for you. But anyways, back to the makeup, back to trying all this on and seeing if it's actually any good. And if you came to see all that, and if you want to see how this goes, all you need to do now is sit back, hang tight, and keep on watching. So diving right into it, I want to show you guys the Urban Decay sponge before I go and dampen it. I'm assuming you're supposed to dampen it. Yeah, dampen it. Yep, okay. All right, so it comes in a little box and, oh, okay. Oh, that's not a silicone base. No, it is a little bit. That's an interesting texture. It kind of has like a plastic overlay over the silicone and it's like glued onto the sponge. So let me show you guys that up close. So this is very interesting. The silicone part is actually much larger than it looks in pictures, but then again, I do need to dampen the sponge and see what that looks like. Let me go do that really quickly and show you the difference. Holy guacamole, yeah, that got bigger. That is much softer now. It was very firm and dense before. Now it's really bouncy and squishy. Still feels denser than the Beauty Blender. So this should be interesting because I have some $1.55 sponges that I love and I actually prefer over the classic Beauty Blender. So it'll be interesting to see if this can even beat that one, but I think it's very unique and different. So I'm actually gonna be using the sponge on half of my face because overall, I'm kind of a brush kind of gal. So on half my face, I'll be using a brushes that I normally use. And on the other side of my face, I'll use this sponge. But it feels really nice, but very dense, but not too firm. You know, if you're looking for a comparison. I love the Urban Decay purple though. So I'm glad they did that color because that is so pretty. So let's go ahead and dive right into these products. Now I was looking over the Stay Naked foundation and it looks pretty silicone based. So I paired a silicone based primer with it that looked like it had very similar ingredients. This is the Makeup Obsession Even Out Primer and it has a canceling green undertone in there. So I'm just gonna apply that really quickly. And then first up from the Stay Naked line, I'm gonna go in with the new Stay Naked concealer. And the reason why I'm gonna do this is I like to cancel out the discoloration that I have before my foundation that I have on my cheeks because I have quite a bit of hyperpigmentation there and this helps to kind of cancel it out. Sometimes I'll do like half and half so I can see the coverage of the foundation, but honestly, for me personally, I will 100% every day do this no matter what kind of coverage I'm getting from my foundation. So I'm just gonna do that and I kind of wanna see the staying power of the concealer and how like much coverage you get from it too. So this is a good test. So just like a nice pretty square packaging, basic, but it feels very nice and like acrylic metal top. It was hard trying to pick my shades because, you know, the product literally had just launched. I got it when it was just exclusive at Urban Decay. It looks like everything is available through Ulta and Sephora and stuff now, but it was tricky. Ooh, yeah, this shade that I got is 30 NN and that is pretty light. I almost got 20 NN and I'm really glad I didn't because that would have been really light. But this one retails for $29, which is pretty typical for Urban Decay concealers. They're always kind of up there in the higher $20 range, but it comes with 0.35 ounces of product, which is pretty good. So I'm gonna start blending out this side with the sponge. I'm not sure if I should use the silicone tip yet. I'm kind of curious to try it. Well, it's pushing around the product kind of nice. Okay, I'm gonna switch to this side though, because I don't think that's necessary yet. Oh, it is very firm. It's a little aggressive. I need to go more gentle on myself. It covered most of it up, but I still see some areas right over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more. And I was just reading, and the concealer comes in 25 different shades, which is pretty good for concealers. All right, layering it up worked fine. Got a little more coverage there, and then all the rest of the coverage will come from the foundation. So I'm not too worried about that. All right, it's blending out very nicely. It's just a little bit firm. Let me go in with a brush on the other side. Well, it dries down pretty fast, but it's still blended out okay, but I'll have to keep that in mind. I guess I got kind of the same amount of coverage over here. So let me add a little bit more. Yeah, so far just the concealer brush versus sponge. The coverage seems about the same. So now I'm gonna go in with the Stay Naked foundation. I'm a little bit worried about the shade match now since the concealer is so light, but we'll see. I got 31 NN, which is a neutral. I think it's the darkest one of the light neutrals. I love this packaging. That is so pretty. When I saw this leaked on, I think it was Trend Mood, I died. I was like, oh my goodness, this is so pretty. It looked like in the picture it was gonna be glass though. It is like an acrylic plasticky packaging, just like the concealer is. So they look so pretty together. So this foundation retails for $39 and it has a typical 1 ounce of product in there that most foundations have. It looks like they have 50 shades to choose from, which is definitely fantastic, and a wide range at that. Lots of different undertones, lots of different master tones and stuff. The way that they made this range with the master tones and undertone is really cool. So if you're having trouble like figuring out what your shade is or how to figure it out, Urban Decay has a video where they talk about how to do that, because I'm 31 NN. Well, I don't know if I am. I ordered 31 NN. I hope I'm 31 NN. I hope it's not too light. I'm a little nervous after the concealer, but this packaging I can't get over. It even has the little UD stamp on there, both sides. It's so pretty, so pretty. Has a lot of claims I'm reading on the website. It's supposed to be a waterproof long wear foundation that's supposed to feel just like second skin, very breathable and flexible all day, all night, up to 24 hours. I'm not wearing it for 24 hours, but like that's crazy. It's supposed to minimize the appearance of pores, all that stuff. So it sounds like a miracle foundation. We're gonna see if it is though. So let's hope that this is a shade match for me and that it doesn't oxidize too much, because I know Urban Decay foundations tend to do that. So I'm a little nervous. So on this side of my face, let's go in with the sponge and let's use the little silly silicone thing. Interesting. Okay. I don't really know what the point is of the silicone. Maybe I should look that up. You build up the product with the silicone and max out the coverage of your complexion, then blend and diffuse with the super soft sponge. Well, we'll see. For a neutral shade, this looks a little bit pink. This silicone thing is weird. So maybe I lay down the product with the silicone and then I'll go back and blend it out, and then I guess I'm gonna blend it out now. So I just saw on the box that it does say it's a medium buildable coverage. I would agree with that. With the sponge at least, it is definitely a medium finish, because I could still see some of my discoloration, a tiny bit of redness still, but for the most part it's covered and it's kind of like evened out. Very skin-like. It says it's a skin-like matte. I would agree. It's not very satin, but it's not like crazy intense matte either. So it looks nice. It kind of looks like my skin, but better. Let's go ahead and apply the foundation with the brush on the other side and see if that's any different. I'm gonna use the Iconic London HD blend brushes. I always get asked which brushes I'm using, so that's what it is. Comes in a little set of 4 with different sizes. You can check that out. Okay, so coverage is very similar between the sponge and the brush. I did get a tiny bit more coverage with the brush, and obviously it blends out much faster with the brush. Sponges notoriously just take a little longer to blend. The only thing right off the bat I'm a little like disappointed in, it's not necessarily foundation's fault, but it's just picking the right shade fault. I think that this neutral 31 NN it's a little on the pink side, which is not typical for me to find in neutral foundations. Usually it's, if anything, they're more on the golden side. So keep that in mind. Hopefully it won't oxidize or get like weird. It looks fine, but I feel like I have a little bit of a slightly pink look. You know what I mean? So let me zoom you guys in and show you what that looks like before we go with concealer. So lights are dimmed down a little bit. This is with the sponge side and this is with the brush side. Everything is looking pretty nice, pretty skin-like. No complaints other than the color. So let's go in with a little more concealer now. So I'm gonna do this just as I normally would, but I'll do 1/2 at a time just because it seemed like it kind of dried pretty quickly. So who knows if this is too much. This is where I think the little silicone tip might come in handy. Yeah, that works a lot better, patting out the concealer. Feels so weird. Okay, let me pat out with this. Ooh, wow. Yeah, that silicone definitely keeps it way more coverage, but it just feels so freaking odd, like I'm slapping my skin right now. You guys hear that? I gotta switch. The silicone thing is kind of getting in the way because I really like to utilize the tip with the sponges, and it's kind of like hard to blend out because that silicone guy doesn't really want to blend, but it's hard to get in little nooks and crannies, you know? I have to try to pinch this side to try to get up in there. Okay, that definitely brightened, so that shade is lighter than the foundation, so that's good. I picked good in that. It's hard to get into the nooks and crannies. Okay, let me go ahead now with the brush on the other side. Ooh. Oh, it's dry already, you guys. Maybe I don't even need a powder. This side that I first did is like completely dry. Not sticky, not weird, nothing. Like I might be okay not setting it with a powder. Okay, as far as the different sides go, I see pros and cons with both. Overall, still, I believe it is a medium coverage. It's a very accurate description. Very skin-like matte, whatever that means. It's not like too matte, but it dried down fine, but it's not satin. Like I definitely don't feel any hydratingness to my look. I do have a little more coverage on the brush side, and it was so much faster applying with the brush. This sponge kind of takes a while, and like I said, the silicone tip kind of gets in the way, to be honest. It's a little gimmicky, but the foundation went on so nice and the concealer went on so nice with a brush that I personally would probably just go with the brush, just off of first impressions. I just got a little more coverage. You can tell over here on my cheeks right there, a little more coverage versus on this side. Now, with that being said, I think my pores look ever so slightly better on the sponge side. So my answer to that would be use the brush, and then whatever sponge you have, if you have this one, if you have whatever, you know, gently pat out before it dries down, and that'll probably help with the pores a little bit. Concealer's going on nice. It went on a little bit better on the brush side too, underneath my eyes. The sponge side is creasing a little bit, but that's just because I couldn't get like up in there. So I'll pat it out. I'll probably set my under eyes a little bit just because I'm nervous about that. It's very weird that I don't feel like I need to set my face with powder, because like I always do. So because of that slight creasing under the eyes, I'm just gonna set a little itty bitty bit underneath my eyes with the Hourglass powder, because I don't want it to crease. You know, I got, you know, some smile lines in my eyes, and I just want to give this the best fighting chance. So let me do a little bit of that. All right. Yeah, and I really don't feel like I need to set the rest of my face. Like, it's dry. This is like literally the first foundation ever that I don't think I need to set with powder. That's crazy. That is crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup minus the lips, because we have one lippy product to try out, and then we need to see how this wears and everything like that. So I'll be right back in a jiffy jam. All right, you guys, I am loving how this looks. Everything went on top beautifully. I think everything kind of came together very, very nicely. The foundation's looking really nice, like a really good medium coverage, very skin-like, really pretty. Let me zoom you in a little bit. Yeah, really gorgeous. Loving it. Still love the brush side a tad bit better, a little bit, but yeah, at least now we know, right? So let me go ahead and do this little lippy here. I'll keep you zoomed in about that much. So again, where did it go? Vice Lip Chemistry Lasting Glassy Tint. So this is supposed to adjust your natural kind of undertones, but there's, I think, like around 8 shades to choose from. I did like a really neutral one because that's what kind of girl I am. And they retail for $22. So let's take a look at this. Ooh, the packaging is so pretty. Vice is spelt out through that. Oh, so cute. And let's go ahead and just apply this. Whoa, a little doe foot applicator, but it's very, very long and pointy. Ooh. Oh, I love this shade. You can't even see it on camera. It's really pretty. Oh, it's very interesting feeling. almost a liquid lipstick, almost a gloss, almost a lip oil. Whoa. It's like a glassy consistency. Very silicone-y. I might need to take off these foundation lips. Hang on. There you kind of see the color a little bit better. It's very much like my color. Oh yeah. What shade is this? This is the shade Heavy, by the way. That might be helpful. The consistency is so unique. Weird. All right, I can see it kind of changing color. Yeah, it's like my natural lip tones are kind of coming through. How cool. Oh my gosh. So like a nudie, almost has like a purpley undertone, but I pull orange like crazy. And you can see how much orange I'm pulling. Like it's complementary on my lips. That is cool. It's not like crazy intense glossy, but it feels so comfortable on the lips, but like weird at the same time. What a unique experience. You would have to try this to know what I'm saying, because it's hard to describe. That is interesting. So you're supposed to be able to layer it up and wear it like a gloss, like this, or you can leave it on for a couple minutes and then wipe it off and it's almost more like a tinted balm would be. So I'm gonna leave it though. I think this is interesting. We'll see how it wears. I'm sure it's not gonna last throughout the day, but maybe the color will, and we'll be able to see what that looks like. But you can tell it definitely adjusted to my natural pH. I mean, now it's starting to turn, but how very cool. Very unique Urban Decay. Feels really moisturizing and nice on my lips. I'm just gonna do this for the next 8 hours because that's weird. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna set my makeup a little bit with the Urban Decay Chill Setting Spray because this one works really good with my skin. I don't think it needs it. I'm just gonna do a very light mist because it's just so humid outside. I wanna give this combination the best fighting chance. So here we go. I'm gonna check back in 8 hours, hope for the best, because it's looking really, really pretty right now, and I'm very, very excited. So again, I'll see you guys in a flash. All right, it's been about 9 hours now. I'm a little late on the check-in, so things are looking pretty good though, you guys. All things considering, I've had quite a rambunctious day running around after my 4-year-old, and then I even napped, and I feel like it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Let me zoom you guys in. Considering this is like a medium coverage foundation, I feel like it looks pretty darn good still. Overall, I just feel like it still looks like my skin. It's very skin-like. I usually will get a little tiny bit of oil around this area, especially since it's so hot today, but I don't feel greasy or oily at all. And I didn't even set with powder, so that's really cool. That being said, there are some like powdery looking areas around here, which doesn't look terrible, but it's just slightly powdery, which I didn't use a powder. So I think that there must be some kind of oil control aspect to the Stay Naked foundation, but it's honestly only when I like really look up close do I see it. My nose is like rubbed off a little bit, like around here, but I mean, I took a nap and everything, so I don't know how much of it was that. But I mean, my bronzer's still there, highlight's still there. I don't really have much complaints, I think, and it didn't oxidize. It didn't oxidize. This is the best experience with the Urban Decay foundation that I've ever had. Ever. I don't really like the original Naked Skin foundation. This Stay Naked one though, it's really pretty. If you're looking for a good, long-wearing, medium coverage foundation, this might be worth a try, I think. And the concealer was really nice. It blended out really nicely. It did seem to dry down rather quickly with both things, so make sure that you are applying really fast, blending out really quickly, or do in sections. That would be my only thing, is if you're like super, super, super dry, I kind of wonder if this foundation will be too drying for you. I am dry, but like right now, because of the humidity, it helps kind of balance my skin a little bit. So I'm not sure how this will go in the winter months, but right now for the summer, things are looking good. Things are looking up. It's nice. And then as far as the lippy goes, it only lasted like maybe a couple hours on, maybe. It kind of definitely like dissolves and dissipates. The tint kind of stays there a little bit, but I've eaten 2 meals since, and as you can see, nothing is on at all. It's a very unique and different product. I know a lot of people are into that pH balance, like color adjusting, color shifty kind of product. And if you like that kind of thing, check this out because it's really interesting. All right, you guys, that is it for my review of the brand new Urban Decay Stay Naked collection. Before you guys go, if you are new here and you haven't taken the opportunity to do so yet, I would love it if you consider going down and hitting that little red subscribe button. That way you get notified when I post new videos, which is at least 3 times a week. And to my fan bam, definitely let me know down in the comments below if there are any products coming out that you want to see me review, what you want to find out, what you want to see. Thank you all so much for watching. I super appreciate it, and I hope that every single one of you out there, every single one of you, have a great freaking awesome, wonderful, beautiful, glorious day.